Asics footwear is more well known for their athletic shoes, their running shoes, their tennis shoes, their soccer shoes, and more recently, they have stepped into the arena of skateboarding shoes, and they have produced 4 cup sole skate shoes. I was able to get my hands on a pair of the GEL-FLEXKEE Pros, and full disclaimer here, I purchased these shoes myself for $130, meaning I get to give you my opinion on what these shoes skated like for me over the last month or so that I've been skating them. And this is the review of the Asics GEL-FLEXKEE Pro. While I was looking at the 4 options of skateboarding shoes that Asics made, I chose this one because honestly, it's just the most ridiculous looking one that they've made so far. It looks absolutely crazy. And I really wanted to find out whether or not these cuts in the forefoot were gonna affect my skating because they are directly where you're flicking from. Before we get into my opinion about these shoes, let's go ahead and go through the description that Asics is giving us on the Flex Keys. For these bad boys, on these Flex Keys. On the Flex Keys, the Flex Keys. This product was developed by analyzing the movement of athletes in skateboarding competitions at the Asics Sports Engineering Laboratory while incorporating the opinion of Takasaki Nakamura, and is characterized by its high functionality so that athletes can demonstrate their performance. You can tell by their description that this is predominantly not a skateboarding company, but it does sound like they put a lot of thought and effort into this. So, I tried these shoes on in a size 10, but they felt very snug on my foot. And the skate shop that I was at didn't have a size 10.5, so I tried an 11, but that was way too big. So I ended up getting the size 10, and after a few sessions, they loosened up and it felt okay. But if you can try them on before you get them, then maybe try a half size up before you buy them. One of the first things that I noticed when I first put these shoes on and started walking around is that it feels as though that there's an extra arch support that runs diagonally through the outsole, and I felt it when I walked around. It was something that I definitely noticed, but it wasn't something that really affected my skateboarding. It felt weird though. I don't know. It felt like I was stepping on like a little speed bump the whole time. It was weird. When I started skating these shoes and did my first kickflip in them, I expected this strangely constructed shoe to throw my kickflips in some weird kind of wacky flipping way. But to my great surprise, the flick with these shoes was way better than I ever could have expected. Like, way better. Seriously. Now this is a cup sole shoe, and usually cup sole shoes do not have as good of a flick as a vulcanized skate shoe. But this shoe felt better than a vulcanized shoe, and honestly, it has some of the best flick that I've ever had with a skateboarding shoe. Pretty bold of me to say, honestly. I've skated a lot of shoes. The flick with this by far exceeded above and beyond expectations. It just feels really good when you do kickflips with these shoes.
I thought that was like perfect. I wish I stayed on it and made it though. That would've been sick.
But after skating them for a while, I'm actually pretty sure that they're onto something with these huge cuts in the side of the toe cap. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Another thing that might be attributing to why the flick is so good is that this entire toe cap is made out of this rubber material. I have been skating these shoes a few times a week for a month now. So I can confidently say that I have put a solid 16 hours of skateboarding into these shoes. And these are still looking very new. I did start to tear some of the stitches connecting the rubber to the rest of the suede upper, but it does look like if you tear the stitches, it doesn't really matter because the rubber part is glued to the upper. It's not gonna start peeling apart really easy like you normally do when you tear your stitches on shoes. Pretty damn smart. Also, all of the shoelaces are sunken into the shoe, making it so it's pretty much impossible to break any of your shoelaces with these shoes. In addition to the laces being protected, there is an extra piece of fabric and leather on the top of the shoe with a piece of Velcro, making it so that you can hide your laces from dangling around. So this makes it so you don't have to be looking at your big old knots on your shoes like you have to do with every other shoe in skateboarding, which honestly isn't that much of a big deal because I'm pretty much used to it. I'm pretty sure you are too. I haven't noticed until right now, but the laces themselves do not stay tied very well. I'm having a hard time keeping them tied. The most damage that I've done to this shoe is a little bit of fraying going on around the heel collar. But other than that, I've barely started to wear through the rubber on the toe cap. These are probably gonna last you a while. Oh, and also because it is a cup sole, all of my heel flip tricks felt very good. The gum that the Asics tread is made out of just has a basic pattern with the Asics logo in the heel and a little cutout exposing the gel that seems to be inside the outsole of the shoe, right here. So the tread itself is on par with most skateboarding shoes. It's definitely not slippery, it's not extra grippy, but it is still grippy. I left my laces on these shoes snug but not too tight, making it so that it was nice and easy for me to put my shoes on and off when I wanted to skate them. But the way these are made makes it easy for you to slide your foot in and out, so you don't have to tie your shoe and untie your shoe a bunch. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys do. I don't know if that's a thing or not. You leave your shoe a certain amount of tied so it's easy to slip them on and off. I don't know if everybody reties and ties their shoes. Let me know. Now those are most of the things that I liked about these shoes. However, there is a but, and it's a big but for me. The first thing is that these shoes cost $130, and if I was not doing these shoe reviews for you guys, I probably would not have bought these shoes for skateboarding, or period. I picked this particular shoe because I thought it was the ugliest looking Asics that they have put out so far. This reminds me more of a soccer cleat than it does a skateboarding shoe. And because it's an Asics shoe, it kind of makes sense that they would make a very athletic looking skateboarding shoe. But when I have a skateboarding shoe, I kind of want it to look like a skateboarding shoe and just perform well. However, I did get used to the way that they look and started to think that they did look cool. You can start to think that anything looks cool if you skate it long enough, I swear. But my girlfriend still called them ugly anytime I wore them. She's like, those are ugly, don't wear those. The most important thing for me, and what would make me stop skating these altogether, is that this board feel is just way too damn good. And when the board feel is so dang good, you are sacrificing a lot of impact protection. After the first few sessions of skating these, I could tell that the impact protection was not going to be there for me. The thickness of this outsole seems to be pretty thin, and the additional padding given to you by this insole is not doing very much. This insole's, it's just a piece of foam. Very not, oh my goodness. You're not gonna be getting any additional impact protection with this insole. So I put a pair of my brand new Do More insoles in these shoes, and all of my impact protection worries just disappeared. Good impact protection. It took me 1 year and 9 months to make this insole, so if you want to see the process of that, I'll leave a video link to it in the description where you can pre-order these insoles right now, and you will be receiving them in about 11 weeks because they are being produced right now while I'm talking. They're making them. They're making it finally. This first version of the Asics skateboarding shoe is above and beyond my expectations of what I thought an Asics skateboarding shoe would be like. It really does look like they paid a lot of attention to detail, and it seems like they did produce a very good shoe for skateboarding. I would categorize this shoe as a high performance technical skateboarding shoe, for the main purpose of the flick being very good. And remember, I bought these shoes with my own money so I could give you my real opinion. And aside from the impact protection being total crap, these are a really good skateboarding shoe. I got these shoes under the impression that I wasn't gonna end up liking them and I was gonna skate them for a little bit and then tell you how they were. But here I am a month later telling you that I'm really surprised at how good they skated. And that's not saying that I think that they're worth $130, but maybe you could budget some money if you want to prioritize skateboarding in your life, because these are actually a very good skateboarding shoe. I was over here like, I'm gonna go talk hella crap on Asics. They ain't coming into skateboarding like these other companies do, trying to make skateboarding shoes out of nowhere. It looks like they did a good job. I started to wear the shoe down here on the toe where it's turning black because it's wearing down into where the rest of the shoe is. I don't normally do that, it's weird, but I did it here. If you've skated these shoes before, then let me know what you thought about them. Also, make sure you go to the description and get some of these insoles before they sell out, because I wanna make sure that the homies get them first. And, I love you. Subscribe. I'll see you in another video soon. Peace.